Do you ever wake up feeling a bit groggy, maybe a little stiff, and just jump right into the day's demands for many of us? Especially as we get a bit older, the morning can feel like a race against time, or maybe just a slow crank up of the gears. We might not give much thought to how we start the day, just that we do start it. But what if those seemingly small, unconscious morning habits, the things we do without even thinking, are actually putting our health at serious risk? It might be a hard truth to face. But the quiet hours of the morning are when our bodies are most vulnerable to certain stresses. And it's a time when the risk of serious events, like a stroke, is statistically higher. It's a painful reality that something as simple as getting out of bed the wrong way or delaying your first drink of water could be increasing that risk. But there's a secret, a wisdom often found in cultures that value longevity and daily routine, like the perspective you might hear from someone who has lived a very long and healthy life. Perhaps like the wisdom attributed to Japan's oldest doctor. It's about understanding these morning vulnerabilities and making simple, conscious changes. In this video, we're going to look at 5 common, seemingly innocent morning habits that could be increasing your stroke risk. And more importantly, what simple swaps you can make to protect yourself. These aren't complicated medical procedures, they're small adjustments to your daily routine that can make a profound difference. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. A simple understanding that can change how you approach every single morning. So, let's start with the first habit that many of us fall into without even realizing it, getting out of bed too quickly. Or perhaps more accurately, launching ourselves from a lying position straight into standing and rushing into the day's activities. Think about it. You've been lying flat, or mostly flat, for several hours while you were sleeping. Your blood circulation has been relatively slow and steady. Your blood pressure naturally dips a bit during sleep. Now, the alarm goes off, or you just decide it's time to get up, and you might sit bolt upright immediately, swing your legs over the side, and stand up within seconds. For a younger person with a very robust circulatory system, this might not cause much more than a brief head rush. But as we age, our blood vessels can become a little less elastic, and the system that regulates our blood pressure as we change position, called the autonomic nervous system, might not be quite as quick to respond as it once was. When you stand up suddenly, gravity pulls blood downwards into your legs and abdomen. In a healthy system, the blood vessels constrict slightly, and the heart rate increases just enough to push that blood back up to your brain and keep your blood pressure stable. But if that system is a bit sluggish, that rapid change in posture can cause a temporary, but sometimes significant, drop in blood pressure. This is called orthostatic hypotension. You might feel dizzy, lightheaded, or unsteady. While these symptoms themselves aren't a stroke, the sudden changes in blood flow and pressure can be stressful for the cardiovascular system, especially if you already have underlying issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, or weakened blood vessels. Now, the opposite can also be true for some people, particularly those with existing hypertension. The stress of getting up and starting the day, combined with other morning factors we'll discuss, can lead to a surge in blood pressure. This is known as the morning blood pressure surge, and it's a well-documented phenomenon. While a certain degree of morning surge is normal, an excessive or rapid surge can put significant strain on blood vessels, increasing the risk of rupture or clot formation, which are triggers for stroke. Getting up too quickly, especially if combined with immediate stress or exertion, can potentially exacerbate this surge. It's like going from a relaxed state to pushing the accelerator too hard, too fast. So, what's the alternative? It's incredibly simple, yet powerful. Take your time. Instead of jumping out of bed, when you first wake up, just lie there for a moment or two. Stretch your arms and legs gently while still in bed. Feel your body. Then, slowly, push yourself up to a sitting position. Don't rush this part. Sit on the edge of the bed for at least a full minute, ideally 2 or even 3. Let your body adjust to being upright. Wiggle your toes. Flex your ankles. Maybe do a few gentle shoulder rolls. While you're sitting there, you can take a few deep breaths. Ground yourself in the moment. This gives your circulatory system time to adapt to the change in gravity, to ensure blood is flowing properly to your brain before you ask your legs to carry you. once you feel steady and not dizzy or lightheaded. Then you can slowly stand up. Walk slowly at first. This deliberate, slow start to your physical movement allows your body to gradually increase circulation and blood pressure in a controlled way, reducing the stress on your system. It's a small change, adding just a couple of minutes to your morning, but it's a crucial step in gently waking up your cardiovascular system and preventing those sudden, potentially dangerous fluctuations in blood flow and pressure. Now, hand in hand with getting out of bed is the second morning habit that many people overlook, and it's surprisingly critical not hydrating yourself first thing. You've just gone maybe 7 or 8 hours, or even longer, without any fluids while you were sleeping. Your body has been using and losing water through breathing, sweating, and other metabolic processes. By the time you wake up, you are likely in a mild state of dehydration. Even mild dehydration can have a significant impact on your blood. When you don't have enough fluid in your system, the proportion of water in your blood decreases, making your blood thicker and more concentrated. Thicker blood is stickier. It doesn't flow as smoothly through your blood vessels. Imagine trying to push thick syrup through a narrow tube versus pushing water. The water flows easily, but the syrup requires more pressure. Similarly, thicker blood requires your heart to work harder to pump it through urea. Manya, Verti, Wachkani, Auskajurdas Konachokanaur. Naskiti Sanderis words Conchia. Watchi, we Latsbrio. We Bodbury and veins. This increased effort can elevate your blood pressure, and the slower flow increases the risk of blood clots forming. And a blood clot is one of the primary causes of ischemic stroke, where a clot blocks blood flow to the brain. Think about how you feel when you're dehydrated. You might feel tired, have a headache, or feel a bit foggy. That's your body telling you it needs water. Starting the day already dehydrated puts your cardiovascular system at a disadvantage from the very first moments you're awake and moving. The morning is already a time when blood pressure can be naturally higher for many people. And adding dehydration into the mix just compounds that risk. So, the simple act of drinking water soon after waking up is incredibly beneficial. It helps to rehydrate your body, which in turn helps to thin your blood slightly, making it flow more easily. This reduces the strain on your heart and helps maintain healthy blood pressure. What's the best way to do this? Keep a glass or bottle of water by your bedside table. Make it the very first thing you reach for after you've sat up slowly on the edge of the bed. As we just discussed, sip it slowly. You don't need to chug a whole liter immediately. But aim to drink a good-sized glass. Maybe 8 to 12 ounces. That's about 250 to 350 milliliters within the first 15-30 minutes of waking. Room temperature water is often recommended as it's gentle on your system, but slightly cool is fine too. Avoid sugary drinks, juices, or caffeinated beverages as your first drink, as these can sometimes have a dehydrating effect themselves or cause blood sugar pressure spikes. Pure water is the best choice. This simple habit rehydrates you from the inside out, supporting healthier blood flow right from the start of your day. It's a foundational step for morning health that is often completely overlooked. Combining this with the gentle waking process creates a much safer and healthier start for your cardiovascular system. These first two habits, taking your time getting up and hydrating immediately, are simple cornerstones that lay the groundwork for a safer morning. Now that we've discussed the physical mechanics of waking and the importance of hydration, let's move on to something that affects many of us immediately upon waking stress and how we process information first thing. Continuing our journey through potentially risky morning habits, let's dive into the third one, which is perhaps less about physical movement or what you consume, and more about your mental state and the information you expose yourself to right away starting your day by immediately immersing yourself in stress. Whether that's checking stressful news, diving straight into work emails, or engaging in arguments or worrying thoughts right after waking. For many people, the very first thing they do upon hearing an alarm is reach for their phone. They might check social media, read the news headlines which are often negative or alarming, or start scrolling through work messages. This immediate influx of information, especially if it's stressful, upsetting, or triggers anxiety, can have a powerful physiological effect on your body. When you encounter stress, Whether it's a real physical threat or just a worrying email, your body initiates the fight or flight response. This involves the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones cause your heart rate to increase, your breathing to quicken, and your blood vessels to constrict. Your blood pressure rises as your body prepares for action. While this response is crucial for survival in dangerous situations, it's not healthy to trigger it unnecessarily first thing every morning for people who are already at risk for stroke, perhaps due to high blood pressure or weakened blood vessels. These stress-induced surges in blood pressure and increased strain on the heart can be dangerous. The morning is already a time when blood pressure can be naturally higher and more variable. Adding chronic stress, or even acute stress from upsetting news, on top of that right away puts extra, unnecessary pressure on your cardiovascular system when it might be most vulnerable. Think about how you feel when you read bad news or a frustrating email first thing. You might feel your heart race, your muscles tense up, and your mood shift downwards. This isn't just in your head. It's a real physical response. And repeating it every morning trains your body to start the day in a state of alert and tension. This chronic stress response contributes to long-term issues like sustained high blood pressure, which is a major risk factor for stroke. So, the habit of immediately engaging with potential stressors like news or emails bypasses a calmer, more gradual transition from sleep to wakefulness and throws your body straight into a state of physiological stress. The actionable step here is to create a buffer zone between waking up and engaging with potential stressors. Delay checking your phone, emails, or the news for at least the first 30 minutes. Ideally an hour. After you wake up, use that time for calmer activities. After you've sat up slowly and had your water, maybe spend a few minutes doing some gentle stretching, listening to calming music, sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of tea after your water. If you like to read, choose something uplifting or enjoyable. Not the daily headlines. Use this time to gently ease your mind and body into the day. When you eventually do check your phone or the news, approach it mindfully. Remind yourself that you can process the information calmly, without letting it immediately dictate your physical and emotional state. This simple boundary setting in the morning helps to keep stress hormones in check and promotes a calmer, more stable start for your cardiovascular system. It's about protecting your peace and your health. Now that we've discussed protecting your physical transition from sleep and your mental state, let's talk about what you introduce into your body in those crucial first hours. This brings us to the fourth wrong morning habit, starting the day with a breakfast that is high in processed sugars, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats. While being low in fiber and essential nutrients, many common breakfast foods fall into this category. Sugary cereals, pastries, white toast with jam, pancakes drenched in syrup, or processed breakfast bars. While they might be quick and tasty, they can have a significant negative impact on your blood sugar and overall cardiovascular health, especially when consumed first thing after a long period of fasting during sleep. When you eat a breakfast high in refined sugars and carbohydrates, your body rapidly digests these foods, leading to a quick and significant spike in your blood sugar levels. In response, your pancreas releases a large amount of insulin to try and bring that sugar back down. This roller coaster of high blood sugar followed by a rush of insulin can be hard on your system. Over time, frequent spikes in blood sugar and insulin resistance can contribute to the development of type 2 diabetes, which is a major risk factor for stroke. Furthermore, diets high in processed sugars and unhealthy fats can contribute to inflammation throughout the body and lead to weight gain. High cholesterol and high blood pressure, all factors that increase stroke risk. Eating these types of foods first thing sets the stage for your blood sugar levels and energy to fluctuate throughout the morning, potentially leading to cravings and less healthy choices later in the day. It's like starting your car with dirty fuel. It might run, but not efficiently, and it puts strain on the engine. Nonsense. A healthy breakfast, on the other hand, provides sustained energy, helps regulate blood sugar, and provides essential nutrients that support cardiovascular health. A breakfast rich in fiber, lean protein, and healthy fats is digested more slowly, leading to a more gradual and stable rise in blood sugar. This avoids the stressful spikes and crashes. Good examples include oatmeal made with rolled oats, not instant, and low in sugar with berries and nuts, Greek yogurt with fruit and seeds, eggs with whole grain toast and avocado, or a smoothie made with fruits, vegetables, and protein powder. These foods help you feel full and satisfied, provide steady energy, and contribute positively to your overall nutrient intake. Making this change is about choosing nutrient-dense foods that support your body rather than taxing it. It might require a bit more preparation than grabbing a sugary muffin, but the benefits for your long-term health, particularly in reducing stroke risk by managing blood sugar, blood pressure, and inflammation, are immense. It sets a positive tone for your eating habits for the rest of the day. Instead of starting with something that creates internal stress, you start with nourishment that builds health. Swapping a sugary donut for a bowl of oatmeal with fruit is a small but powerful change in your morning routine that pays dividends for your cardiovascular well-being. It's about fueling your body wisely after its overnight fast. Next, we'll dive into something that involves listening intently to your body and not pushing it too hard too soon. Finally, let's talk about the fifth morning habit that can pose a risk, and it's one that ties into our earlier points about rushing and listening to your body, ignoring physical signals, and pushing too hard, too soon. Whether that's engaging in strenuous activity without proper preparation or straining during common bodily functions. Many people feel a need to be productive or active right away in the morning. You might have an exercise routine you're eager to get through, or perhaps you feel pressure to complete certain tasks quickly. However, as we've discussed, your body is just waking up, your muscles are cold, your joints might be stiff, and your cardiovascular system is adjusting from a state of rest. Launching into intense physical activity, like a hard run or heavy weightlifting, without a proper warm-up can be taxing on your heart and blood vessels. Sudden, strenuous exertion can cause a rapid increase in heart rate and blood pressure. For individuals with underlying heart conditions or weakened arteries, this sudden strain can increase the risk of events like heart attack or stroke. Furthermore, there are other common morning activities that can involve straining, which many people don't realize can briefly elevate stroke risk. For example, straining during a bowel movement, especially if constipated, causes a temporary but significant increase in blood pressure. This Valsalva maneuver, holding your breath and bearing down, is something healthy bodies can handle. But for someone with fragile blood vessels or high blood pressure, that spike in pressure can be dangerous. Rushing through these natural processes, or not being properly hydrated, as we discussed earlier, can make straining more likely. Similarly, trying to lift something heavy or perform a difficult task while not properly awake and warmed up can lead to unexpected physical stress and pressure increases. The wisdom here, echoed by those who prioritize longevity and well-being, is about respecting your body's state in the morning. It's not about being lazy. It's about being wise and patient. If you plan to exercise, start with a gentle warm-up. Spend 5-10 minutes doing light cardio like walking in place or gentle stretching to gradually increase your heart rate and blood flow and prepare your muscles and joints. Listen to your body. If you feel pain, dizziness, or unusual fatigue, ease off. For daily activities, avoid rushing and straining. Give yourself enough time in the morning so you don't feel frantic. Stay hydrated and eat fiber-rich foods like the healthy breakfast we discussed to promote healthy digestion, and avoid constipation and the need to strain. Pay attention to your body's signals, whether it's the need to use the bathroom or a feeling of fatigue, and address them calmly and without force. Pushing your body past its comfortable limits, especially in the vulnerable morning hours, adds unnecessary stress to your cardiovascular system. A mindful, gradual approach to physical activity and daily functions reduces sudden pressure fluctuations and protects your blood vessels. So, we've covered 5 seemingly simple morning habits that, according to perspectives rooted in prioritizing long-term health and longevity, like the wisdom you might hear from someone who has lived a rich, full life, such as Japan's oldest doctor, can significantly impact your stroke risk. We talked about the dangers of jumping out of bed too quickly and the importance of taking a slow, measured approach to standing up, giving your body time to adjust. We explored how crucial it is to rehydrate first thing after hours without fluids, to keep your blood flowing smoothly and reduce the burden on your heart. We looked at the impact of immediately flooding your mind with stress and negative information, and the power of creating a calm buffer zone to protect your mental and physical peace. We discussed how starting your day with sugary, processed foods creates unhealthy blood sugar spikes and inflammation, and why choosing nourishing, balanced options sets a healthier tone for the day. And finally, we emphasize the importance of listening to your body, avoiding strenuous activity or straining too soon, and approaching morning activities with patience and care. These aren't drastic changes, are they? They're small adjustments to the rhythm of your morning. But think about the cumulative effect of these habits. Day after day, week after week, year after year. Making these simple swaps. Taking an extra minute to sit on the edge of the bed. Reaching for water before coffee. Delaying that news scroll. Choosing oatmeal over a donut. Being patient with your body. They don't just potentially reduce your stroke risk, they also contribute to feeling more grounded, more energized, more in control of your day. You're supporting your body's natural rhythms instead of working against them. Remember, making changes doesn't mean you have to be perfect overnight. Start with just one habit. Maybe tomorrow morning, you just focus on sitting on the edge of the bed for a minute before standing. Once that feels comfortable, add the glass of water. Then work on delaying checking your phone. Small, consistent steps are much more powerful and sustainable than trying to overhaul everything at once. It's truly surprising how much impact the first hour of your day has on your overall health and well-being, especially for something as serious as stroke risk. It underscores that health isn't just about big events or complicated medical treatments. It's profoundly influenced by the simple, daily choices we make. You have the power to make these changes, to care for yourself in these quiet, vulnerable morning hours. By adjusting these few simple habits, you are actively reducing strain on your heart and blood vessels and building a foundation for healthier aging. It's an act of self-compassion and a wise investment in your future. You are not helpless against health risks. You have agency in your daily routine. We'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these habits? What helps you have a calm, healthy morning? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else in this community. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like. It helps us know we're creating content that matters to you. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel for more practical tips and encouraging advice on living your best life at every age. We're here to support you on your journey to health and happiness. Remember, it's never too late to make positive changes, and every morning is a new opportunity to nurture your well-being. Live your best life at every age.